I was in the best shape of my life. I was 40 years old, working hard and healthy family and having fun and enjoying life, really. I was doing a lot of training for Ironman triathlons, and I basically I was having trouble breathing. So I did decide to go to a pulmonologist at that point, and he took an x-ray. He also wanted me to get a CAT scan. I went and got the CAT scan. Probably 2 hours after my scan, his office called and said the doctor would like to see you to review the CAT scan. And I said, well, how's next Tuesday? And they said, well, how's 1 o'clock? And he's like, there's a tumor in your chest. And at that point, I just like kind of heard ringing in my ears, and I put my, I put my head down, and I'm like, this can't be. I'm healthy, I eat right, I exercise, I have a family, I'm young. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. My middle daughter, Madeline, we told her. And so she just like thought about it for a second, and then she looked at me dead square in the face and said, it's just a monster under the floorboard. You're just gonna have to stomp it out, Dad. And I was like, I was like, whoa, okay. And that became my mantra. I just gotta stomp it out. I gotta stomp the monster. I gotta stomp the monster. It was pretty much, you go to chemo, you sit there for between 6 to 12 hours, depending on the day. It's a grueling process. It's 5 weeks in the hospital. You get like gaping holes where you can't eat and you can't swallow. And you do get to a point where you don't want to get up out of bed. The early scans showed that the tumor was being reduced dramatically. Like I could breathe again. In the end of January, that scan came back. There was no, what they call no known disease. So I was like, great. 3 weeks after that scan, I took another scan and it was back. So we had to make some new plans. The plan was to go through a stem cell transplant. This first stem cell treatment was unsuccessful. The disease was back. So now the goal was to get back to remission so I could do a allo transplant, which is a donor. You have to have a sibling match. My sister Andy was a full 10 for 10 match, which is very, very lucky. This was the one that was successful, my second bone marrow transplant from my sister. My sister saved my life. Yeah. The support network that I had was so tremendous that I never had to worry about getting a ride, never had to worry about if I was gonna have a meal, never had to worry about any of that stuff. I was very lucky. We had a woman who's a dear friend. She had to decide, imagine this. She had to decide between helping her grandson and daughter who lived in her house, food, a roof over their head. She was working 2 jobs and going through treatment. So she had that decision. Do I feed them or do I go to treatment? That's not a decision people should have to make. I realized when I was meeting these people that there was this need to put Band-Aids on these things, pay a utility bill so they could pay for fuel, pay for childcare so they could go to treatment, pay rent so they didn't have to worry about it. They could actually focus on fighting their disease. There was nobody like focusing on relieving that little stress. Ever since Maddie said, it's just a monster under the floorboards, you have to stomp it out, it had to be stomp the monster, because that's what I was doing. That's what all these other people are doing, and it just naturally fit in. We pay all of our grants, we call them stomps. We pay all our stomps directly to the company that we're covering the bill for. Utilities, rent, car payment, could be a cell phone bill because they need to get in contact with their doctor. It could be a range of any of these things. We started helping once a month, and then twice a month, and then once a week. And now we help somewhere between 80 and 100 families per month. And since 2011, we've given out over $1.5 million. We give out over 90 cents of every dollar of net proceeds that come into us. Most people come to Stomp the Monster through a nurse navigator. They deal with these people directly every day. Lizzie Martinez is a nurse navigator at Meridian Health, and she's so important because she connects the patients and Stomp the Monster. So she's really the catalyst. There's so many places that we get the money. Our major events are our Life is Sweet Gala, and we raise $100,000+ every year. We have a 5K that just passed, and we raised over $80,000 at a 5K. In October, we have the Stomptoberfest, which is another run. We also have companies that sponsor us. We also have generous people that want to give. It was my family and friends that enabled me to see how much I had. To not have to worry. If I'm in the hospital for 5 weeks, to not have to worry that my kids are gonna be fed is very different than having to skip a treatment because you have to feed your kids. I think that giving is always more important than receiving, and the more you can give, the better it is. And the whole goal is to help more people. I'm Seth Grumet. I'm a father, a husband, a business owner, a cancer survivor, and a very lucky man.